On this vote, the yeas are 218 and the nays are 213. The bill is passed without objection. A motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Now, before you go, we discussed earlier in the week the good news that it seems like Kamala Harris is back. She wants to be president. She's relaunching her website and Kamala headquarters. Let's see how she explains here why voter ID laws could make it impossible for minorities to vote. Just try to follow the reasoning here.
Is agreeing to voter ID one of those compromises that you'd support?
I don't think that we should underestimate what that could mean. Because in some people's mind, that means, well, you're going to have to Xerox or photocopy your ID to send it in to prove you are who you are. Well, there are a whole lot of people, especially people who live in rural communities, who don't, there's no Kinko's, there's no Office Max near them. People have to understand that when we're talking about voter ID laws, be clear about who you have in mind and what would be required of them to prove who they are. Of course, people have to prove who they are, but not in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to prove who they are.
Oh, kosher. I've missed her word salads. But we played some CNN analysis last week showing that the overwhelming majority of Americans, around 85%, want voter ID laws, and yet the Democrats are resisting it and using any excuse, no matter how ridiculous, to justify why voter ID is going to be a setback for democracy.
What she was attempting to explain there with that circular logic has been the long-running argument that people opposed to this policy make, that somehow it's impossible or it's difficult or it's prejudicial to require people from rural communities to go and get ID, which is such a pejorative thing to say, that you're basically saying they're incapable of doing something simple as getting ID. But they say that, and as a result of that, many people believe that it's only for one reason: you don't want ID. Why? Because you want to contaminate the election with people when you have a country with tens of millions of illegals, some of them sneaking through and voting, right? Which is what it's about. And the Democrats have always been openly against it. Republicans have been quite feckless, where they just haven't been able to push it through, and we're getting closer to seeing them do that under the current administration's support. So let's hope that they do, because this is a very fundamental thing for democracy, which they love to talk about, and it's outrageous when 80% of the country supports it that they can't get it done.
Exactly. You've got an 80-20 issue and you've got the 20% setting the agenda. It is madness. Kosha Gator, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.